fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be starting work on Ye Old Christmas Shop by Ciro Marchetti. This is a Dreamer Designs kit. It is quite large. I have no idea if I'm going to get this done before the end of the year, which is what I would like to do. You're going to see me start to lay the first drills. Let me prepare the canvas a little bit. I just want to put some release papers down so I'm not laying my arm in some stuff. And I'll be right back. Okay, apologies if the lighting is terrible. I know I've got some shadows going on, but I am in a different place. The family is watching football. I unfortunately took a nap today and waited way too late to get this done, so here I am. I am upstairs because it is super windy, so sitting downstairs by the window is not great. I'm hoping it's going to be better up here. This way they can sit down and watch football and make noise, and it won't matter while I'm recording. And hopefully the traffic noises will be less now that I'm upstairs again. So since I'm not right by the window, which will make me happy because that's less editing for me to do. Hopefully the dogs will behave themselves and I won't be having any barking or anything. Anyway, all that to say, apologies if this is not up to my regular snuff, but I just thought this was the best of the options I had. So there you go. Okay, so I've started my timer. I've started putting down drills. I am now officially working on my Christmas kit that I should have started, I was hoping last month. That did not happen. So what's that old saying? Life is what happens while you're making plans. Because this was definitely not how I planned for things to go. So let me jump in. Let me start with my life update. What's been going on in my regular life? I imagine some of the same things that have been going on in everybody else's life, getting ready for the holidays, figuring out all the plans for those, etc., etc. It's been a week though. So our week started out, this was actually Saturday night, I think. Maybe it was even Friday. Our bathroom started making weird noises. Like it sounded like the bathroom fan was on, but then it sounded like a jet engine trying to take off. And then all of the water would get sucked out of the toilet bowl. And then we were still having this huge, like, engine sound. And we're like, what is that? It happened once. It didn't do it again. And it wasn't super loud. So hubby and I just thought, okay, well, a one-off kind of thing. Must be air in the pipe somewhere or something, whatever. Then last Saturday, it happened again. And it happened 2 or 3 times. And one of the times it did it, it was super, super loud, and it seemed to go on for a long time. And we were like, what is going on? And so hubby and I were discussing, do we need to call a plumber? Good luck getting somebody to come out on a weekend. If we do, it's going to cost us an arm and a leg. It did it like twice on Saturday, and I said, hubby was convinced it was because of the shower drain. He thought one of the shower drains was blocked or something because he thought it was only happening after a shower. And I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense. Why is it draining water out of the toilet? Because there was still water in the tank of the toilet, just not the bowl. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So we thought, well, we'll call and get on some lists. And once he called on Saturday, nobody called us back anyway. We didn't get any callbacks till Monday. Sunday, it happened again, but only once. And it wasn't as loud as before. And we just thought, well, we'll just limp along until Monday. Nobody's calling us back anyway to come out over the weekend, so we'll just deal with it on Monday. So hubby got up first thing Monday morning, called and left a message at a couple different plumbers. Hey, can you come out? Nobody could come out until Wednesday, even because the water was still working, because it wasn't shut off. It's not considered an emergency. So they said, well, we'll put you on the schedule for Wednesday and we'll come out. And one of the plumbers said, well, it sounds like your vent might be clogged. Call these people and have them come clean your vents because that'll be cheaper than me coming out and looking at it and then telling you you need to have your vents cleaned. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll have to come back out. So he called the vent cleaners and left a message with them. They never did call us back. then Wednesday or Monday, hubby and I had to go run some errands. So I'm like, let's just go run our errands. That way we're not sitting at home waiting for this to happen again, waiting around and getting frustrated because nobody's calling us back. Let's just go do some stuff and we'll come back. On our way back from our errands, hubby and I noticed there was a maintenance truck like 4 doors down the street from us, and they were doing something out in the street in the manhole. And he said, that's a pump truck. I'm going to go talk to them and see what's going on. So we put groceries and stuff in the house, and he trotted off to go talk to them. He comes back, come to find out, apparently the neighbors down the street have been having plumbing issues for a couple of weeks. It was getting bad. So I guess the plumbers had done all that they could do. And so they said, you're going to have to call the city in. So the city maintenance truck was there trying to essentially see if there was a blockage in the city pipes and vacuum out whatever it was, which was why it kept sucking all the water out of our toilet bowl, because they were trying to suck all the stuff out of the pipes, which makes sense. They're like, oh, we've been out here for 3 or 4 days already. I was like, why didn't the city notify the neighbors? Do you know what I mean? That they were going to be doing maintenance, because everybody around here posts everything on Facebook. There was nothing on Facebook that said they were going to be doing any work because hubby had looked. So much ado about nothing. It ended up having nothing to do with us or our plumbing issues, but we didn't know that at first. So I guess all's well that ends well, for another Shakespearean reference. We didn't end up having to pay for a plumber. It wasn't any issues with our pipes. So it's all good. It just seems crazy that they wouldn't like notify people that they were doing that kind of work, especially knowing that doing work on one person's house or the plumbing is going to affect more than just that one house. So a little bit crazy, but again, at least we didn't have to pay to fix anything, which is always nice. So one huge issue, bullet dodged, however you want to say that. So that's how we started off our week. We went to my mother-in-law's on Sunday. We originally had said we were going to go, and then we started having all these plumbing problems. And we're like, well, if we can get a plumber to come out, we may have to stay at home. And his mom was like, oh, don't cancel on us, because everybody else had canceled. My sister-in-law was sick, so she didn't want to come and make anybody else sick. My husband's oldest and his girlfriend were just getting over being sick, so they didn't want to come, and if they were possibly still contagious, so they had canceled. So it was just me and hubby and my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law, which actually was nice. Usually when we're over there, it's like 10 plus people and we're trying to fit them around a table that's made for 6. It was nice just to have the 4 of us and not have to fight people for elbow room at the table and everything. They have a dining room table that's much larger, but they never use it because the wood stove is in the kitchen, so we always just eat in the kitchen. We did finish up most of our Christmas shopping. I'm still trying to figure out what to get for hubby. We were laughing about it because he and I have reached that stage, both in our marriage and in our lives, where we're like, hey, I wanted this, so I put it in our shopping cart, okay? That's how we shop for things. It's not, oh, I've got to save this up for a list or whatever. I mean, I suppose we could, and we probably should this close to Christmas, but I was out making a list of more Steam games that I wanted to try. There's some that I want that are on sale for a pretty deep discount for Christmas, so maybe I'll get a few more of those. I have been playing the ones that I bought. I bought a bundle of 5, and one of them was one that I wasn't really sure I was even going to like. And because I wasn't sure I was going to like it, I was like, let me play this one first and see. And then if I don't like it, I can just close it out and I didn't have to play it again. It's actually been one of the ones I've enjoyed the most so far. I finished one of the cozy organizer games that I thought I was going to like a lot, but it was really just, I mean, it was almost too simple for me. There wasn't enough of a storyline to it. It was mostly just here, do these puzzles. And then I did a demo of another one, but you can't use your mouse. You have to use the keyboard and your arrow keys. And playing on my laptop, that just does not work for me. I much prefer playing with a mouse or a controller, so having to work with my keyboard just was no. So I was like, well, that's a no on that game for me, because that would drive me crazy that I have to use my keyboard. But I did find some other ones. So I've been playing you're like at a shipping company and you have to ship out parcels. It's actually been pretty fun. And I got a like fantasy one where you're running like a potion shop. So I've been playing that one at the same time. And then the first one, the Whisper of the House one that started all of this, they actually had an update for December. They added 2 new rooms. So I went out and did the update, but I'm still missing some stuff. I don't have 100% achievement because I'm still missing some of the inventory items. One of the things they added was a diner and you had to go cook all the food. It's another way for you to make money in game so that you can buy some of the stuff that you need. But I went through and made every single recipe. I went through and did all of it, and I'm still missing some food. So I don't know where I'm missing it from, but okay, so here's another one where I kind of get stuck and it's like, do I want to do this? So usually what I do is I pull out the picture and I kind of look at it. So what I'm doing down here in this corner are these little presents, because I have this 814 marked. This 814 pixie dust, which I really like, is more of a purple than a red. So I don't think I'm going to use it for this one. I mean, I probably could because it's just in several little places on the present, but I think it might look weird that it's purple instead of a dark red. I should find a different number that this matches, because this happens to me all the time, that these two colors are just kind of off. I don't think I have a purple this color in here that I could substitute it for. Do I? Not one that has a ton of colors anyway. I don't think I do. So I probably will just end up not using this particular AB. It's fine. I'm still in the process of moving all of my ABs over anyway. So you guys saw me working on the first video of me doing that. I still have quite a ways to go. I'm still not through the square ABs, and I still have all the round ABs to go as well. Not just ABs, but pixie dust and anything else that might be considered a special drill. Guys, it is super windy here today, like high wind advisory wind gusts. I don't know if this is part of that polar vortex making its way here. It rained Friday, not super heavy, but rained pretty good on Friday. It was almost 50 on Friday, you guys, in the middle of December. That has to be crazy for Canada, right? I mean, we're warmer here than my daughter was in Kansas. Does that make any sense? Anyway, it was supposed to be super high winds today, and my husband, true to form, has been following all the outage maps and seeing how many people are out in the various places. He is on the books with one of those storm companies, and they actually had a call, oh, it's probably been a month or so ago, for people who wanted to go work in Jamaica because they had that big hurricane down there and they're trying to fix things down there. Hubby opted not to go. So they're in Jamaica doing that. And then there's lots of people out in Canada in several different provinces, in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, maybe even Quebec. I can't remember if he said Quebec, but anyway, people out in those two provinces. And then, of course, because Maine is so close, there's been a bunch of people out in Maine too. And he got a alert from the company saying, wow, this is the first time it's ever happened for us. They're currently helping out with restoring power in 3 different countries at once, the US, Canada, and Jamaica. We haven't lost power yet, knock wood, so hopefully we won't. But it is, you can hear the wind so much more when you're upstairs. There's just one window in our bedroom, but you definitely can hear the wind when it is whipping outside. And they don't do underground electricity lines here. Everything is above ground, strung from the pole to your house. So if it gets super windy, it can break the lines, which is, I guess, because, they could bury them during the summer, but then it would be almost impossible to dig them up in the winter to work on them if they break. To which I told my husband, but if they're underground, they break less often, right? So in theory, they'd still have less work to do if they buried them. I put new glue and new putty in my pen, and I'm going through that initial getting it worked to where I want it phase. The putty's cooperating okay. I find my putty works better when it's cooler. When I get too hot, that's when the putty doesn't work as well. The glue just needs worked. I put new glue dots in it this morning because I think I had The ones that I had in there, I think I originally had in there for like 3 different kits already. So I was like, yeah, it's probably time to change out my glue dot. Oh, wow, I'm getting way off topic here. This is definitely going to be a ramble. Okay, so way back when I was talking about Christmas presents and how hubby and I just kind of go, what do you want? Well, I don't really want anything. I mean, I had a few little things that I wanted, but nothing major. I bought myself those games. I want a little book light so I can read my physical books. I want some removable contact paper because I have decided that I am going to put contact paper over my big adjustable diamond painting desk because I'm using it for filming now, and I have a white, like basically tablecloth over it, which is fine and it works, but I'm starting to think maybe white isn't the best option because it shows every single dog hair, which drives me crazy. And also, the top of the table is slick, which means the tablecloth keeps sliding one way or the other, and I keep having to adjust it, and it's making me crazy. So I just thought, "Oh, I should just get some contact paper and go over the top of it, and then I can use it for filming. It will wipe off really easily. It won't, I'll get some matte so it won't glare in the lights when I'm trying to film, and it'll just be much better. Now I just have to figure out which ones I want that are actually available in Canada, because the local stores around here don't have much of a selection. It's basically the clear, like they assume you want it for inside your kitchen shelves. And what I'm looking at is something that could go on top of like your kitchen cabinet. They just don't have anything like that around here, so I'm going to have to order it. And I found several that I liked on Amazon.com, but that doesn't mean they're going to be available on Amazon.ca. So I need to go and look for some of that. I still want to get hubby something. I got him a few things, and I got everything that we have purchased wrapped and under the tree, so it looks more like Christmas, which makes me feel better. I mean, having the tree up made me feel better because last year we didn't even do a tree, but definitely made me feel better to get the tree up, the ornaments on it, all of my Christmas decorations unpacked. We got the new crown for the tree arrived. We got that put on. My husband likes it so much better. So yeah, I feel like I'm more ready for Christmas, even though I'm not done shopping quite yet. We have been dealing with dog issues because Sable somehow hurt her leg earlier this week, and she was being just really pitiful about it. She wouldn't go up or down the stairs, which makes going outside difficult because she has to go down the stairs to go to the little dog area. Even if we take her out on a leash, she has to go down the stairs from the deck. And of course, our bedroom and her crate is upstairs. And she was just being really pitiful. But if someone would go in the kitchen, she would get up and go look. And I was like, okay, what's going on? So we finally had to resort to taking her out on the leash so that she would do her business outside. Otherwise, she would just sit on the deck and she wouldn't do anything. And she's very good on the leash. When we took her to the vet, she was super good in the car and she was very good on the leash at the vet. So I didn't think she was going to be a problem. Hubby said she was really good walking on the main street, wasn't trying to like chase cars or anything. And she was having a ball just out kind of trotting around and getting to see what she could see. But then as soon as you brought her back to the house and you had to get her up the deck steps, she was like, oh, my leg, my leg. So we're like, what is going on with this dog? And I was like, let's just give her a day or so and see if she just sprained something. If she's still being pitiful and she won't do anything in a couple of days, then we'll make an appointment at the vet and take her. The result of all of this has been that now she thinks she can only go outside when she's on the leash. She doesn't want to just go run around in the dog run anymore. She wants you to take her out on the leash so she can explore the whole yard and possibly parts of the neighborhood. And of course, when she's outside, because we'd been taking her outside alone because Oscar likes to jump on her and we didn't want her to get hurt, Oscar's just whining up a storm inside and being super pitiful because she's outside getting to explore and he's inside. So it's been kind of a circus around here for the last couple of days. Anyway, she finally seemed to be okay. She's still not hopping up on the couch like she was. She prefers to lay on her little cushion on the floor. She's at least getting up and down, and when you put her on the leash, she goes outside, she'll go down the steps. So I think she's feeling better, but she's still trying to milk the whole situation. And we actually had gotten a stationary leash, one of those that you screw in the ground and then, it's like a pivot point for them. So they could, yeah, neither of the dogs were having any of that. Even though it meant they could be on the grass and explore outside the dog run, nope, they didn't like that. So Oscar's been really pitiful. She's been really pitiful. Hubby ended up taking him outside together today, and they both had a good time, but nobody did anything when they were outside. So Oscar came inside and went in the house, and I was like, "You dog." We were doing so good. He had actually slept outside of the crate for a couple of nights, and we hadn't had any accidents, so I thought we were making progress. But now everybody's going to go back to sleeping in the cage because hubby and I were taking turns sleeping downstairs on the couch with Sable because she wouldn't go up the stairs. She's too heavy for me to carry her. Hubby probably could have, but he didn't want to make her come up the stairs if she didn't want to. But she's been jumping up and down on the couch, so she can come up the stairs and sleep in her crate. And then hubby and I can sleep in a bed instead of on the couch. The couch is super comfy, but it's not meant for sleeping night after night after night. Naps, yes. Sleeping all night long, no. I did tell my husband it must have some kind of sleepy dust in it because every time we lay down on it, we fall asleep, take some kind of nap. Benefits of being semi-retired, I guess. He takes a nap pretty much every day these days. Okay, I was going to say, did I miss any more of these? But yes, I missed a whole bunch. So let me go back and fill these in. Okay, what else? Oh, Oscar had the zoomies today. I should have thought and gotten some of it on film because that's really the first time he's ever done that. I mean, I was actually in the sunroom getting stuff together so that I could film today, and I could hear him running, but I thought he was playing with my son. I thought my son was throwing the ball or something for him, and I come out because they're making so much noise. My son's nowhere to be seen, and Oscar is just running back and forth from the couch to the kitchen, from the couch to the kitchen, from the couch to the kitchen. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he just looked at me. Nobody played with me, so I was playing by myself. Hubby saw an advertisement for these supposedly indestructible dog toys, right? Guaranteed your dog can't destroy them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It did say not suitable for large dogs, but we were going to get them for Oscar. And I thought, well, he's not a large dog, he's 30 pounds. So we ordered them, and it was a buy two, get one free thing. So hubby picked out a cute little alligator, an elephant was the free one, and then one is like a fox or a weasel or something. So we gave the alligator to Oscar and we gave the weasel to Sable, and then we just kind of had the elephant bopping around. This was earlier in the week, and Sable was still feeling pitiful, so she didn't really want anything to do with hers. Oscar, on the other hand, was all over his. He was taking it and shaking it with his head, like he was trying to snap its neck, and he was chewing on the alligator and everything, and they were holding up. It was holding up, and I thought, okay, well, maybe this is going to work. And then Oscar saw the elephant that my husband had in his hand, and he decided he wanted the elephant. So he took the elephant. And we were talking to Sable and trying to see if because Sable just kind of took hers in her mouth, and then she laid it down beside her on the cushion and just laid down. She wasn't playing with it at all. So we were concentrating on her, trying to see if it was because she was still hurting. She just doesn't like playing with toys. And we look over because I hear something ripping, and Oscar has chewed through the poor elephant's trunk and is ripping the stuffing out of it. I'm like, well, that lasted a whole 5 seconds. So hubby takes some of the stuffing away from him, and he takes the elephant away from him for a minute. And he's like, no, play with the alligator. And we go back to talking to Sable, and all of a sudden I hear more crinkling, and I look over, and Oscar's got the elephant again, and he's ripping more stuffing out of the poor elephant's trunk. And so I said to my husband, I thought you took it away from him. Well, I just set it over here. Well, he set it where Oscar could get to it, so Oscar did. And so I was like, let me put this away. Like, so much for these being indestructible. And I gave Oscar his alligator back, and he's chewing on it. And then I'm giving my husband the evil eye because about the exact same time, Sable and Oscar discovered that the toys squeak, which I had told my husband when he ordered them that I would only let him buy them if they were not squeaky toys because I can't stand the noise. It drives me crazy. And all of them were squeaky toys, even the free one. So I was like, Well, I'm not going to be too upset that these don't last very long then. And hubby, the sneak, knew that they were squeaky toys. Okay, I was confused for a minute because I was expecting number 2 to be an AB because number 3 was an AB. But I forgot this was a Dreamer Designs and not a Diamond Art Club. So this is number 21. The symbol is number 2, but it's not an AB. And I'm okay actually not having too many ABs after doing Little Baker with all of the white ABs in that window, and then doing Patriotic Camper with all of the white ABs on the stars and the stripes. I'm AB'd out. I mean, I don't mind having little ones like these yellow ones and stuff like that, but I much prefer the fairy dust to the ABs. The ABs are okay when you want like a light or something, but when you just want to add a little bit of shimmer, I much prefer the fairy dust for doing that. I think it's just much more subtle. And plus the AB drills aren't bigger than the other drills, so it's not as hard to get them to place nicely. I was kind of afraid this was going to be a little bit of a gappy grid because I looked this kit up when I was doing my logbook sheet, and this kit was released in 2023, it said. So I feel like the grid is tighter than it was when I did my very first square from Dreamer Designs, which was the Penguin Trio. I feel like it's not that gappy, but it's gappier than the Diamond Art Club that I just finished. So, I mean, I suppose that's a good thing. Then I have room to fit in the ABs and everything that I need to, but so I don't know when Dreamer Designs updated their grid, but I guess not with this one. Or maybe they updated it several times and this is just the first one. And the newer kits have the second update. I don't know. Also, back to my Oscar story. We gave him the alligator and let him play with that for a while. I put the ripped up elephant away and I came back like 5 minutes later and Oscar has ripped one of the legs off the alligator. So I just said to hubby, you need to contact this company and be like, I don't know what dog chews on these that doesn't destroy them, but my dog's had it for literally like 5 minutes and it's ripped apart. So he contacted them and they said, oh no, we'll replace it, because that was the whole thing. The whole reason we bought it, even though it was kind of pricey, was because it was supposedly a lifetime guarantee that if they got destroyed, they would replace them. And I told hubby, I'm like, I don't want these same toys back because it's going to be the same thing that happens. So he went out and looked at what other toys they had, and he placed an order for 3 like rubber type toys. Like if you know what a Kong is for a dog, it's made out of like this super hard rubber. We actually have 2 of those for the dogs, and they haven't destroyed either one of those yet. Although Oscar has made a dent in one of them. I think he's still teething a bit. I mean, I think all of his teeth have come in, but he's still in that puppy chewing stage. He doesn't chew on furniture or anything, thank goodness. Although they have chewed on some blankets, mostly theirs, so I wasn't too upset about it. But they did chew a hole. We put we have a black like waterproof mat by the front door. You have to have something like that in Canada because you track in so much snow and everything that melts on your boots. So we had those left over from a previous owner and we put one of them outside. It now has holes in it because they've chewed through it, and it's like a pretty thick one. So yeah, he's just Mr. Destructo dog. But he's super cute, so he gets out of it. He just looks at you with those puppy dog eyes and you can't stay mad. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you about my regular life. So let's move on to my diamond painting life. What's been going on in my diamond painting life? Well, if you saw yesterday's video, you know that I finally finished Patriotic Camper, so yay me. I don't know why that particular kit took me forever. I think it's just so many other things going on with the holidays and things like that. We ended up doing Thanksgiving way late, and since we were hosting and all that kind of stuff, I did go to a Christmas party. I've been doing tutoring. So I just haven't had as much time as I normally would. And I think it just took me longer than I thought it would. I think it was more confetti heavy than I was anticipating. I mean, I knew it was going to be some confetti, but I didn't think it was going to be as much as it ended up being. So it just ended up taking me quite a bit longer than I thought. But it's finally done. I am glad I did it. It did turn out to be a super cute kit. I'm still in love with the cute little watermelon in the wagon. I don't know why, like I said, why I like that particular piece of it so much, but that was one of my favorite parts of it. So another kit done, another kit out of my stash, so that's all good. Which means I can finally start on this one, which is good. If I ever want to have any hope of finishing it. Like I've got 10 days now to finish it, so I really don't think I'm going to finish it before the end of December, but I'm going to try and get as close as I can because we should just be having some quiet days at home. We shouldn't have to go out and do any more shopping or running around. I went and restocked. We just didn't do a lot for Christmas last year, I'm realizing. I thought we had done more. We didn't put the tree up. We didn't really have, I mean, we had some gifts, but not like I usually do, and they weren't really wrapped. Last year, I took a lot of, oh, I'm just going to stick it in a bag type stuff because I'm one of those people. My mom did this, so I did it too. We would save bows and boxes and things to reuse for the next year, so we didn't have to buy them every year. And you can just tape up the corners if they get kind of worn out, and then, once they get worn out completely, then you can buy new ones, but nothing wrong with reusing boxes. And if we got particularly nice, like decorated cardboard boxes, we'd save those. And anyway, I got rid of a bunch of that stuff when we moved because it felt like a dumb thing to haul in the trailer when we had other things that were more important. So I had to go back out and replenish. I only had like 2 rolls of wrapping paper. I like to have more choices than that. And all I had really were red and green bows, no white, no blue, no any other colors. And when we were at the store, they already had a bunch of their Christmas stuff on sale, on discount. So I got some really nice double-sided paper. So like one of them, it's penguins, cute little penguins wearing hats and scarves on one side, and then the other side is just like red paper, and written all over it in white, it says ho ho ho. So I got like 3 rolls of stuff like that that's double-sided. So that was a nice bonus. I didn't even realize it was like that when I bought it. Anyway, I'm getting off topic again. All of that to say, I'm now working on Ye Old Christmas Shop from Dreamer Designs, like I said. This one is going to be a lot of confetti. I know it is. So I want to try and keep it out where it's accessible to me because, oh, this one I have metallic, or not metallic, crystal. I have pixie dust and I have ABs. I think I'm going to use my ABs until I use them up, and then I'll switch to the pixie dust. Since I don't really have that many ABs left of this color, I'll use it in this little section over here with these presents, and then when I move to another section, if I use the fairy dust, it shouldn't matter. They won't be right next to each other. Maybe I'll be a little braver and I'll try and experiment with more stuff this year. I've seen people before who make some major changes to the way their diamond paintings are. The one that sticks out in my mind, I saw this girl and it was a girl holding 2 cats, I think, and she just didn't like how the girl's mouth was rendered. In the image, I think it was just kind of a flat, like she wasn't smiling or anything. It was just kind of a flat affect in her face. But she wanted the girl to be smiling, so she changed it. And she had pictures of the original rendering and then what she'd done to change it, and it really did look way better. I was so surprised. But I wouldn't have had the guts to do something like that, at least not at that point. Now I probably would, but I don't know how well it would look because I'm not that artistic. Sometimes shading and things, my brain doesn't understand that. I've had to go to my daughter and be like, okay, I drew this, but it looks wrong. What did I do? Oh, well, I'll have the sun coming in from 2 different angles or something. That's what makes it look weird, even though I don't even realize that's what I've done. Anyway, I might try something like that. So I'm finally started on this one. We'll see how far I get, like I said. I probably will be doing a couple more whip and chats than usual through the end of the year. I'm still going to do them on Sundays, so you'll still have the ones on Sundays. But what is that, one more Sunday? But I want to work on this as much as possible. And so I thought, well, do I have any video opportunities where I can talk while I'm working on this, just to give myself more chances to diamond paint? Because if I make it so I'm filming something while I'm doing it, then I for sure will sit down and work on it. Whereas some days I'm like, I'm just too tired. I've been on my feet too long all day. I don't want to do anything. Plus, I've been playing my games, and that interferes with it too. Some of the time I could have been diamond painting, I was playing games, so that's part of it as well. And I know I won't get it all the way done, but I would like to make a pretty good dent in it so that I don't have to spend all of January trying to finish up a Christmas canvas. I need to just admit to myself that I'm never going to be one of those diamond painters who has more than one WIP going at a time. My brain just doesn't work that way, and I've tried many different ways to make it happen, and it just never works. I just get hyper focused on, no, I just want to work on this one until I get it done. I don't want to switch back and forth. I could, I just don't want to. So yeah, I probably will be doing a few more whip-in chats then. I mean, I'm not going to call them whip-in chats, but it'll be me diamond painting on screen while I'm talking to you guys, because I want to create as many opportunities for myself to work on this as I possibly can, because that will just make it easier on me to feel like I did everything that I could to do as much as I could before the end of the year. The other thing that I wanted to mention, because I don't have too much diamond painting related other than I finished Patriotic Camper and now I'm working on this, was to remind you guys that I am holding polls for our themes for the diamond paint alongs that I want to do next year. So we had already decided that our theme for January will be winter, and I've got my snowman that I'm intending to do for that already kitted up. I had hoped to get to him this year, but that's not going to happen. I will just save him for next year, which actually works out well anyway, because I think that's the only winter kit I have anyway. So that will be our theme for January. And then we'll skip February. And then I posted polls for the rest of the months that I want to do it. So January is winter, skip February, do March, skip April, do May. And then, of course, we'll have DP for Pets in June, which I'm probably still going to just do as a diamond paint along rather than an event because shipping is still nuts. Then we'll skip July, do August, skip September, do October, and then in November we'll do DP for Veterans, which again will likely be a diamond paint along rather than an event because shipping. So I've got polls up for March, May, August, and October. And currently, only one of them has over 50% of the vote. So I'm going to tell you what themes are ahead, and then you can go find the posts. They are on the post tab of my channel. So if you go to the channel and go from videos and go over to posts, you should see all of these polls. And then once you vote, it should show you where the totals sit. I don't think you can see that until you vote, but once you've voted, then you can see where the totals sit. So currently I'm sitting at, for March, the theme in the lead is to work on your oldest kit. And that's sitting at 41%. So like I said, not 50%. So if you have a different preference and would like to do one of the other choices, make sure you get out there and vote. For May, to go along with March, the one that's winning in May is to work on your newest kit, and that is sitting at 44%. So if you have preferences besides the newest kit that you have that you'd like to work on, then go look at those choices and vote for something different. Because I think I'm going to hold off until there's over 50% for something in each one, and only one of them, like I said, is currently over 50%. So August, the current winner is water, sitting at 38%. So that would be any kit that has water in it, whether it's a water drop or an ocean. So under the water, mermaid, sink, whatever, bathtub, anything that has water in it would qualify. But that's only at 38%. So if you have a different preference, please go vote. The only one that is currently above 50% is October. And I know a lot of people like to do drills and chills, but we did a holiday last year and I didn't want to do holiday again. So I tried to pick some things that I thought would work for drills and chills, but would also be maybe a little bit different. But currently the one that's winning with 51% is witchy. So I guess witch in and of itself is kind of Halloween themed, but I have several witches that they're not, I wouldn't call them necessarily Halloween. Like I have one that's the Witch and Magic books that has like butterflies and books around her. So she's a witch, but she's not really Halloweeny. I have another one that is a witch looking out of a window, so I wouldn't call that one Halloweeny either. Like I know Bella Art had a series of like bookshop, pet shop ones. I think I did the pet shop one, and it was a witch like running the pet shop, and I think there's a bookshop one the same way. And I know, is it Ivy somebody on Diamond Art Club that does a lot of like witchy type stuff that's not necessarily Halloween. So that's currently winning with 50%. So again, if you want to try and vote for something else, please go do so. I'm going to leave them open probably until the last week of December, just so that I can give everybody time to vote. And then we'll see where it ends up. And I'll make, before the end of the year, I'll make an official announcement of what the themes are going to be for next year, because I know people are trying to make plans, including me. I do still also need to share with you guys what my plans are for 2026. I was actually just thinking about that today. I had already set my goals and I thought I was pretty much done with what I was going to do. And then I was watching some videos on YouTube, people gearing up for 2026, people journaling. I'm a big planner person. I have a planner that I use every year. And so it just kind of got me thinking about some stuff. And now I'm like, is this a goal I really want to do? Or do I want to make it a little bit easier on myself? Maybe I want to have less goals next year. So I'm going to go back and rethink all of those and see what I want to do. So be looking out for more sort of whip and chats. So I'll be sharing what the themes are. I'll be sharing what my goals are for next year and whatever else I come up with before the end of the year to keep myself busy. I don't know if I want to open any other kits. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Would you be more interested in seeing, like, once I've talked about what my goals are going to be, would you then be interested in seeing what kits I'm going to use for some of those goals? Because it will be specific kits. Some I haven't unboxed, some I have. So maybe I want to unbox some of them and show them to you. I don't know. I feel like I don't like to unbox them until I'm ready to work on them, but I also feel like once I unbox them, then I'm like, okay, I need to finish up whatever one I'm working on so that I can work on that one because it's out. So I don't know. I just know that setting the goals helps me feel more accountable both to myself and to you guys during the year. So I like to set them. I know they're not for everybody, and that's okay. You can live vicariously through me and watch me try and fail with some of my goals. All right. I think that's it for me today, guys. I've rambled on long enough. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And I didn't forget, here's some cute doggies. Can I have it? Can I have it? Can I oh! Can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have it? Oh, let go. Oh. How about this one? You want to play with this one? Oh, you like that one better? You like that one better? You like that one better? Come on, let go. Let go. Go. Hi, Oscar. Are you sleepy? Are you sleepy? There's Sable over there sleeping.